I can't believe we've had early voting for the June 28th primary already going on for a week, 2 weeks or something. Maybe longer. I don't know. When did it start? I forget. Seems like we're perpetually in a voting season. But of course, it's the June 28th primary, all kinds of choices to be made by voters, either Democrats pulling Democratic ballots or Republicans pulling Republican ballots. You got choices in various races. And to talk about not the choices that are out there, but the process of early voting is Sangamon County Clerk Don Gray. He joins us now with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Don, thanks for taking time with us. How's early voting been going on?
Been 15 days. That's the exact number. This will be the 15th day. So 2 weeks in, and we've really been exceeding expectations, from previous elections before in the past. And, this being a unique election in which it's the summertime. This is the first time we've ever had an election in the summertime. It's quite extraordinary to see that this has really been growing in our pre-election services, both in office early voting and vote by mail. So
yeah, I didn't think about that because sometimes, a November day, a Tuesday, it could be rainy, it could be gross. Who knows? Right. There might be snow, and that could cause some delays and whatnot. But with the extended period here, and again, we still have several weeks before the June 28th actual voting day. You're seeing a good amount of people coming in early voting.
Yeah, we are. Early voting compared to the last election for a gubernatorial year, which was 2018, it's up 28%. We're up 12% from the presidential primary in 20. So that's a great trend. It's wonderful to see that. People are becoming much more comfortable with the form of services of early voting and vote by mail. And they're heeding the call and they're utilizing the convenience. So we want to continue to see this to grow.
Don Gray is the Sangamon County Clerk. He joins us on WMAY to talk about early voting. And of course, Don, with a general or a midterm election, you don't know who's pulling what ballot. But this is a primary, so we do have voters going in and declaring a Democrat or a Republican ballot. Do you have any indication, or is this something that you have to wait until June 28th to figure out as to how many ballots are being pulled in the Sangamon County jurisdiction for either party?
You're absolutely right. I mean, the voting public has got to keep in mind that, we don't declare parties in registration in Illinois. The designee to the party for you is on the ballot that you request at the primary election previous. And we do keep track of those trends. I mean, it's public information, so we do know how many Republican ballots are going out and how many Democratic ballots. We obviously always want to remain very transparent. It's been a pretty equal blend between both parties so far. So, you're kind of getting the loyalists of those that utilize vote by mail and early voting, getting it accomplished now in advance of the 28th primary election day itself.
It's now 7:44 here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Don, if people have not been following as closely as some of the news hounds out there have, and they need to find out either the Democrat ballot or the Republican ballot, and again, you can't pull both, but if they need to get a sample ballot, how can we find that out?
Right. Real important this go around, too, because there's a high probability that your voting districts could have changed from the reapportionment process. So, after the census, every 10 years, all political districts from congressional districts down to county board districts are redrawn. So you could have a change in your voting district. So we encourage you to review a sample ballot so you're better informed and not surprised when you show up if things are different. You have two options, really. Our website has a specific tailored sample ballot to each voter. Go to our website. There's a link that says, "Where do I vote?" View a sample ballot. Fill out a couple of categories of identifying information to you, and you'll be able to review the sample ballot for your specific precinct. In addition to that, we can send you a paper copy. So you can call the election office, 217-753-8683. We'll prepare a sample ballot for you, and we'll send it out in the mail so you can review.
Don, how much has changed from years ago, pre-COVID to now when it comes to mail-in balloting? What do people need to know about that and just over the overall process of early voting and even registering same day to be able to vote?
Yeah. So not a lot of change in the process of vote by mail in Illinois. We certainly put a huge emphasis on it during the COVID era of elections. And it's steady to course. You can make a request, within the window now of early voting open at any time from our website, or call our office. We'll send you a specific application. It requires an application process. We must receive a signature. We compare that to your voter registration signature before we mail. And it goes out in the mail. And, probably the most well-known difference and change is the return process to your vote-by-mail ballot. You now have available to you in Sangamon County some very heavy-duty, secure, weatherproof, tamper-proof, video-monitored drop boxes for vote-by-mail, one here at the county complex on 9th Street. It's really on Adams Street. And then there's another at the Juvenile Detention Center out towards the east.
So there's some options there, of course. Early voting ongoing now, the June 28th primary. You can get a sample ballot through the Sangamon County Clerk's website. We're talking with Sangamon County Clerk Don Gray here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop, now at 7:47. And Don, finally here, when it comes to early voting and the process that's involved, it's hard not to look back even just in some recent years when it comes to election integrity and the internet and questions about the State Board of Elections data being compromised. And there's been a lot of talk and review about the resources that are available for counties to beef up their cybersecurity. How are we doing on that? What's the status check there?
Yeah, Illinois has been at the forefront of cybersecurity protections ever since that experience. We were one of few states that was breached. So there's been a huge emphasis in maintaining, the quality of professional cybersecurity, from the federal level to the state level. We have a program called the Illinois Navigator Program that serves as, kind of penetration tests to all of our, access, community, our data access, voter registration, et cetera. That's been a huge asset to all county clerks throughout the state. So we're vigilant. We're on it. We've got the proper protocols in place to, keep, bad folks out from trying to be nefarious in our systems. It's a daily activity. Internally, it's a lot about being cyber hygiene clean, making sure we're doing our part not to provide any access route for bad people into our system. So you should be quite proud in knowing that we've got a very good system in Illinois. It's one that's very vigilant. It's one that's comprehensive, and it's just required. It's a part of the job now, and this will be a piece for a long-standing period of time. So you can have great confidence in knowing that you got an accurate, transparent result.
And Don, I promise this is the last question. Talking about digital security is one thing, and I'm not going to ask for your, commentary or review of that documentary 2000 Mules, but that did raise some questions and concerns about voter integrity in this decentralized process we have. How's your office making sure that anybody who may have concerns about the mail-in voting or about any kind of trickery that may happen, how is Sangamon County fighting against not just the cyber problems, but even possible voter integrity issues locally?
Yeah, procedurally, it's important for, there to be eyeballs on the system. We work very hard to be transparent and accountable to every action we take in election services. Movies such that are out, or, groups that are doing in-depth research is welcomed, because we want to be able to penetrate and look at and analyze all of what we do, not only in Illinois, not only in Sangamon County, but nationally from state to state, because election policy and procedure is established at state law. So we have independent different systems of how they operate. So, flushing this out, examining it, making sure that we're doing the correct, right things that provide confidence to the system, an accurate, transparent, accountable result to the public is just required, because the system in the end, to have a result in which you can have confidence in, just requires that everyone understands exactly how it operates and has confidence in doing so. So we'll keep educating to that. We'll keep analyzing. We'll keep tweaking and working our procedures in the direction that everyone can be proud of a result.
Sangamon County Clerk Don Gray, I imagine we'll talk again in the near future as we get closer to the actual election day, but early voting is on now. So if you have the inkling to vote early, if you have the inkling to get a mail-in ballot, you can do so through the Sangamon County Clerk's website. Don Gray, thank you so much for taking time with us this morning on WMAY.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Get out and vote.
You too. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News.